Hey, welcome everyone. It is John the Net Guy, and it's the second show on day one here of Prime Early Access Sale days. Now, Wise reached out to me in all honesty and said, "Hey, we've got some cool stuff coming. What do you think you can do for us? Can you spread the word about some of these sales?" And I said, "Absolutely." Last time we had Prime Days and I had Wise on here. It was one of my best shows ever. We had Kyle from Wise. It was great. We installed the floodlight. We bantered a little bit. I wanted to rekindle that, but he was busy. So you're just going to get me tonight. But the good news is the deals are just as good. If you're just tuning in now and this is your first time ever seeing me on here and you're like, who's this bald Yahoo? I'm John, the Net Guy. I do tech, home, and tool reviews on my channel, the Net Guy. I have gadgets like this stand that I made to do smart home automation testing, show you guys how to do basic wiring, cool things like that. I'm trying to look around and see if I brought it. Oh yeah, one of the products that I showed before with this thing is actually the Wyze Smart Switch. Now, sadly, this one is not on sale from I could tell today. But crazy things like this where it's a regular smart switch. I say regular smart switch, but it has multi-tap gestures. So you can like tap twice and kick off your vacuum, tap 3 times, lock your front door. Crazy things like that. So Wyze has been innovating really cool stuff. I built this gizmo here to test things out, show you how they work. But Wyze, about a 5-year-old, 4.5-year-old company, and I go way, way back with them. They've got some really cool, amazing stuff. I'm going to check the chats and see if our regulars are back here. YouTube pings 3 minutes late. I might have been 3 minutes late on this one. I had to get this all set up. I realized I hadn't switched it over and I switched it back and all that. So welcome everybody. If you're just tuning in on Amazon land as well, if you're on Amazon, you're going to have a thing called the carousel. It goes along the bottom. Actually, let me just pull it up so you guys can see. No sense being evasive. If you visit my Amazon show page here and you follow the Net Guy, you're going to get to see this looks something similar to this. And every time I go live, that was my last show. That's funny. It's still showing my last show. Let me refresh. Okay, so there's the current live show here, and it's showing all the products I've got now. But if you're watching this show, and this is going to get really weird for a second, it will actually have the carousel on the left side. And David says hi. Hi, David. Awesome. I can see you guys. You can see me. It's going to get really weird here if I don't get off of that page shortly. But if you visit my Amazon page, you're going to see at the bottom here, we have these early access deals. One of my idea lists is all of the deals I'm going to show you today. So I'm going to show you everything that I know about these cool Wyze products, some of the combinations they have, tell you which one I'd buy, where I'd use it, things like that. I'm even going to show you how to install it. So again, this is just demonstration only. This is a demonstration rig. It's not my house. You may or may not need a license in your jurisdiction. I do not need a license here to show the products that I'm showing today, but check with that before you do any sort of internal home wiring, and only if you're comfortable doing that. The floodlight is the only item that we're really going to have to wire today. You can replace your own door locks in any jurisdiction you want, and the Wyze lock, which is going to be shown there, is pretty cool. Got the Wyze video doorbell, the PanCam V2, which is there as well. So lots of really cool stuff to show you guys here today, including this bulb. Now, longtime viewers notice that the back of my studio here is really dark now. That's because I stole the bulb from that spot and I put it here. So I can tell that smart home assistant, hey, modern day tech. He says, happy Prime Day too. I'm trying not to call it Prime Day, but it's Prime Early Access Sale. It does not roll off the tongue, but hey, modern day tech. Thank you so much for joining. If you're on Amazon right now, I've got almost a dozen of you right now watching. Feel free to hit that follow button. I'll give you a shout out all night when you hit that follow button. Tell me where you're from too as well. I'd love to hear that. I'm going to go here and use my smart home assistant to change the color of this so you can see that this is actually my real smart bulb. I just don't want to use her name because then you got to deal with all that if you guys have one. Set the studio right to red. Did I get it? Oh, it was that one. That one changed to red up there. So set the studio right to blue. So that's a Wyze color bulb. That's one of the items up here, and I'm going to pull it up on the carousel for you guys just because I wanted to show you that first, because we are actually going to take it apart. not the bulb itself. We're going to take apart this whole thing. So I wanted you to see all the cool features of this bulb. So let's bring it up. This is the Wyze bulb color. Lots of really cool things about this. Now, this is a one pack. This is like I'm toe dipping in the pool. I'm not quite sure I want one of these things. You know, my first smart light bulb, maybe. You know, that's what you would have your intended audience for this. But I have to tell you, the Wyze ecosystem, even above Amazon, just crushes because with the Wyze products, they're vendor neutral. You can use Google Home Assistant, you can use Amazon and their Echo devices line, and you can use the Wyze app, you can use IFTT, you can use all the different types of systems. And actually, I believe they're joining the Matter program, I think that's what it's called, to have an open standard for a lot of these things to interact. So Wyze is a leader in a few short years. I think about it, I've been at my company, my day job, I think I added it up the other day, like 16 years in a row. If you've been at a job for too long, let me know. But I've been 16 years at the same job, and I was like, Wyze came out less than 5 years ago, and has disrupted this industry with cool products like this one. So this is their color bulb. Let me get back here so I can show you in studio what this is. So it is a smart color bulb that you can set the brightness, dimming, color to any range. I want to pull up the lumens real quick for you guys. 1100 lumen. That's a lot. So let's see. Now my camera's fixed over there, so let's see if I can actually change that up. Let me show you inside the app what that looks like. Now I got some cool stuff here. I can actually, through the magic of all of this, bring up my app for you guys to see while I'm still here. Hopefully you can see that bulb still. So my Wyze app is just loading. Uh-oh. Now I gotta put my password in. Hope nobody's eagle-eyed here. And I'll get logged in here. Okay. This is two-factor authentication. So this is one thing. I did a video on this just recently. See if I can get it out of my messages. I'm going to have to pull that from my messages. 1 second. 957-421. There we go. I'm in. Okay, so all my devices are loading because, of course, 2 seconds ago I logged in and it was fine, but now I have to do that. So if I come down here, there's so many different products, and the one that I'm interested in is actually the color bulbs. So I'm hoping to pull that one up here. It's loading a little bit slow today within the app. Now, you can do it with voice control. I just did that a second ago, as you saw. So let's see if I can close the app and reopen it. Been doing quite a bit on the show today already. Let's see. Let's reopen that app. There we go. Loading. Studio new left bulb, because we got that one. Yeah, my app is being slow today. But you can control it directly from the app, or you can use your voice. I'm going to mute myself for 1 second. So I told her to set it to red. Let's see what happens. Did we do that? Oh, it's the curse of the demo. So this is the Wyze bulb color, 1100 watts, or not 1100 watts, that would be burning up. 1100 lumens. So very good brightness. Another thing that I find really important, and you guys will notice this if you ever do any sort of camera or photography work. There we go. It just decided to pop up right there. If you do any sort of camera photography work, is the CRI rating. So this is well over 90 CRI, maybe 95. Definitely reproduces color well. I had the Amazon Glow, the Echo Glow here earlier on the last show, and you couldn't even see the color on the camera. So sometimes these will flicker on cameras when you have the brightness set differently. Now I'm raising and lowering the brightness here. You can see that deep red. So you can change this with the app, or you can change it with your voice. You can also do a color temperature. Now it's going to be very bright in the white ranges. So how bright are we talking here? You hopefully can see this, but you know, this one auto adjusts, but when it goes to 100, it is very, very bright here. So it dims everything else in my studio. As you can see, the exposure has a change on the cameras. So very, very bright. So you can use it just like a regular white, you know, warm white, and there's the warm range, more of an orangish, or you can use it in the kind of the whitish, bluish LED light, so you can see how bright that is. So you can use it in all of those any way you want. I got a couple of people I got to say hi to. This is, I'm going to unpin that message, and I'm going to hit show on that message. So Jonathan Talks Hardware, man, what a booster of the show. He's been here all day. Tech is the best thing in the real world. Hey, great call out there. And I see Banana says, go Wise. That reminds me of Minions. There we go. Another friend. There we go. We got R Good. He says, I'm torn on which platform. I'm going to hang in YouTube right now. Yes, it is. It is really hard here. And I got Carver here as well. Do I use Edge? No, I do not, JR. I do not use Edge except because my Chrome is taken up with our software, and I have got my logins and Amazon in it. So I use Edge just because I want a browser that doesn't work. I mean, a browser that is neutral for the show and it doesn't have any logins on it. So great question there. But I digress. So let's come back here. So this is the Wyze bulb color. So again, we can use it as a regular bulb. We can use it as a color bulb here. Is it going to react to music and all that other stuff? No, I haven't seen it do that. But I use it in part of my automation routines. So I can tell that smart home assistant to set it back. But that is one of the products that's for sale right now on the Amazon page for $10.99. So it's actually, looks like about $5 off from retail. Now that's if you're buying the 1-pack. Let's go back and take a look real quick here. You can get a 2-pack and it's going to be more expensive. So buy 2 1-packs or a 4-pack here. Honestly, I bought the 4-pack. It looks like the 4-pack is going to be more expensive. So that's how good of a deal the 1-pack is. And if you want something really interesting, that Wyze switch, like I said, this is one of the first times I've ever seen, it doesn't look like it's available in that combo right now, but this is one of the first times I've seen a smart switch with multi-tap gestures. That's a really big game changer. I want to do a more deep dive video on that one of these days, but that is the first product that's available right now on Amazon. I'm going to go up here real quick. Get back out to our show page. We're going to get over here. If you guys are just joining, this is how you get to it. I'm going to the early access, and we're looking at all of the products that we have available. The next product that I'm going to bring up is the start of a huge area for Wyze, which is the Wyze Cam V3. This was the camera that really was their next generation on an already amazing V2 camera. Now, the V2 Wyze Cam, and I'm going to get this up in the carousel for you guys. I always forget to do that. But let me go ahead and put that up in the carousel real quick. There we go. Just got to select the right item here. So yeah, if you're watching on Amazon, you're going to see a carousel down the bottom or up on the side. David says, do you think they will put the 3-pack Eero Pro 6E on sale? He's talking about a router from Amazon, the Eero series. I don't know. I would be interested, but I actually think rumor is that Wyze is coming out with a mesh Wi-Fi system. And I'd be really excited to see that because that's one of the biggest complaints is Wi-Fi signal strength, and this could really help solve that. So very excited about that. Hopefully they come out with that. But no, I don't know if they're going to have a sale on that. That's a good question, David. So the Wyze Cam V3, $34.99, great value on this one. #1 best-selling camera here for IP cameras. But like I said, it's the start of an ecosystem. And what do I mean by that? Well, I'll show you an interesting thing here. I'll pull them up side by side here. So if I come back over here, the Wyze Cam V3, this is a garage door controller that they built with the V3. So this is like Legos when it comes to these things. This is another thing, a Wyze lamp socket that powers and is controlled by a Wyze Cam V3. This is another one, the Wyze lamp socket. And so this is the kit that comes with the camera. There's another one on top of this. They have a spotlight. I don't have my spotlights up here. That plugs into the Wyze Cam V3, which I just happen to have up here. So all of these things are part of that ecosystem. Another thing that Wyze destroyed the competition on is the Starlight night vision sensor. So if you need color night vision, they call it color night vision. Is it truly color? No, it is just literally that good that it looks like it's color. You know, it looks like day versus night. I've done a bunch of those comparisons, and a very, very unique Starlight sensor that's in these things. So technically, I wonder if my video's up on this because I did have quite a few videos. Has mine stayed up or did it fell off? Dang. But yeah, the color night vision sensor on this thing, I don't know if they're going to show it, is pretty amazing. If you haven't seen it, take a look at my YouTube. I've got an example video of it as well. So $34.99 is a really good price on this. One of the biggest complaints is actually the shipping. I don't see, looks like they're back ordered a little bit. So we can get it with Prime shipping, and I wonder if you do that. But that's one of my favorite ways to do this. In the last show, last hour, I actually showed my Wyze Cam on an Echo Show device. So if you have an Echo Show, you have a tablet, smart device, a smart TV, you can actually show your Wyze cameras there as well. So really easy to use. I'm just going to pull up one to see here. I got to double check, make sure there's no contraband or identifying information in this video before I go there, because I actually have one that monitors my driveway. Another cool thing is I do have their home security system. Let me see here. And I got to go find the camera that I do have. That is my only drawback, because I've got so many of these cameras that I can never remember when I have them connected. There we go. And hey, I did it perfect so that there's no identifying information. So let me pull up my Wyze Cam. So this is my app. This is real time right now. And I only have it at 360. Let's pull it up to HD quality. So this is HD quality. There's my driveway. It's starting to become a little bit dark today. There's my little plug-in car. And there's somebody driving by. You can actually see that now real time. I can zoom in. Is that one of my neighbors? Oh, let's see. I'm driving by. Oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. You know what? That's my contractor. I think he's stopping back by here. He left something that he needs. But there you go. Now I can get notified when he shows up. It's a really cool system here. I don't have this one set to do that right now, but my front driveway is connected, as you see. So what's neat about that is you can use that with their home monitoring security system. So you can use a camera as a trigger. You can actually get their Cam Plus Pro. You can get a security subscription just with the camera. You don't need to have motion sensing and all that. They use the camera as the key trigger device. So if you want to have it go off and you have it set up right, you can actually have them call you or let you know if somebody arrived at your house. So very cool feature there. Looks like I did not turn the night vision on, unfortunately. So was just taking a look at that. It does have that color night vision. Let me see real quick if I can pull that up for you, because I got a really good sample on that one. I have a really good one. I'm going to double check in here. If there's any questions on the chat right now, whether you're on Amazon, I'm going to go check here. Our good says, love the Wyze switches. The additional controls are awesome. Yeah, way smarter than a regular smart switch. That multi-tap gesturing capability. So I'm going to look at Starlight. There we go. I've got the Starlight night vision video. I'm trying to figure out. I'm just pulling up my video because I want to show you guys the proper one here, because I do show a before and after of the color night vision. If you've never seen color night vision, you don't want to miss out on this one. Do I have it? Oh no, I don't have it on this one. Let's see. One second. Here's the outdoor V2. There we go. Well, I should have had this pulled up for you. I apologize. I do not see the color night vision sample video where I wanted it. So I'm just going to have to come back to that one. But the color night vision on this, like I said, is pretty amazing. And I'm just looking. I usually have these on a lot of my videos. That's why I'm having to scroll through a ton of videos that I have for these. But yeah, the color night vision, very, very cool capability. So I have a V3 cam up here. As I said, these things literally are just like Legos. You can totally put them together. They have a gasketed plug. Why is this important? This is one of the first waterproof cameras. The V2 didn't have waterproofing, but people used it everywhere outside where they shouldn't. And, there are a couple that went bad, but not as many that it should, being exposed to nature like that. So in the V3, they said, heck, we're just going to make all of them waterproof. So this is outdoor rated and waterproof. This is a gasketed connector. So when you unplug this camera, you're going to go ahead and unplug that. Then they actually have extended cables you can buy from them as well. So lots of really cool features. And when we get this floodlight installed, it's also IP66, I think, rated, and we'll be able to use another camera with it. So I'm going to plug that in and I'll show you the V3. So V3 on sale right now, $34.99. Let's go ahead and get over to the next product real quick, which is the floodlight. So they got two options on the floodlight here, and I'm going to bring them both up for you real quick. And we'll get over to Amazon and you'll get to see what we got. Back one page. There we go. So this is the two options that they have for the floodlight kit. One in the upper right corner here is you can get the floodlight for $91.94 right now, which is a great price. I think the MSRP was over $100 on these. So $91 is a good deal with a card. A better deal, though, in my opinion, I told these guys last hour about this, is get the floodlight, this 2600 lumen. That is a hugely bright floodlight. So if this is 1100, remember, for this very bright color bulb, this is 2600, so 2.5 times brighter on that, if my math serves. Yes, on there. So that's a very, very cool floodlight, but you also get the Cam Plus subscription. So Cam Plus is really cool because if you have a tree going by that's setting off your floodlight, you can actually set it up to only respond to packages. So this is a really neat feature. So if somebody's bringing a package, do that. Only respond to people. Only respond to pets and animals. That's another thing. So the detection capabilities on this cuts down on your false negatives, false positives. That's really, really powerful. So I'd highly recommend Cam Plus, regardless of what V3 or floodlight camera you get. But this kit right here is $79.98, free prime shipping, and includes 3 months for free, which is another, I think it's about a $2, $3 a month value. So you're getting another value there. And then go ahead and just go buy a memory card. Gigastone makes a lot of memory cards that are good that work with this. So that's a really good deal. Team Oregon Trail represent. Yes, it is. And that's original hardware Apple IIe from 1984 back there. Glad you saw that. We're going to do a game on that one of these days. Let me know if you want to play that game one day. I'll probably not do it on Amazon Live because I'll get in trouble, but it would be really fun. So this is the one that I would pick up personally and then buy another memory card. You're going to get the subscription. You're going to get a Gigastone memory card to go with this, and you're going to get the floodlight. You can't beat it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you real quick how to install the floodlight. And first things first is safety. Now, this is my little test rig, so I have a little, what might be your home circuit breaker in here. And what I can do, I'm going to bring my little camera over here. I think I've got it long enough today. I'm going to show you a little bit of electrical. So there is the display. You can't see it, but it actually shows that I've got 119 volts. I'm using 3.6 watts for the camera and that, which is not much at all. So that's going to show what's going on. I'm going to go ahead and unplug this now because I have this thing set up on a plug, and I want to make sure all that turns off. Now you can also verify this. There it goes away. You can also verify this with an outlet tester. I've shown how to do that, or a non-contact voltage meter anywhere along the chain works really, really well. So I'm going to bring this up here for you guys and we'll get started. So the Wyze Floodlight, which I'm going to pull up on the carousel right now, comes with all the stuff you need to install it on most traditional outdoor fixtures. So this is an outdoor. If you've got an outdoor lamp that looks something like this, maybe it has a glass dome, you can absolutely upgrade to this. Now, it comes with a V3 camera. Don't try to take this camera off. A lot of people have, and they've had trouble. So that's one thing. It also comes with, right here, this little gasketed plug on the bottom. That's for a second V3 camera. You can power 2 cameras with one base. So think of this as not only a floodlight with a camera built onto it, but it's a base station for a second camera, which is pretty cool. So you got both of those capabilities. And I'm going to walk you through how to install it. It's really super easy. First things first, we got to take the other bulb out. Now, I know this is off. I've unplugged it physically. I've looked at all this. I know that. Just be really careful. Always go to the circuit breaker in your home to turn those kind of things off. Another really interesting thing is the Wyze app. When you're adding something like this in the Wyze app, they make it super duper easy. Just walk through the app and it's going to go step by step telling you everything you need to know. So, and if you don't feel comfortable doing this, you can get an electrician to install this thing. He's going to take 20 minutes or less. I'm going to do it here in 10 or less, and I'm going to be talking you through it. So very simply, I'm pulling this off here. This is the old lamp housing, and I'm going to go ahead and pull the wires out of the way. In my case, I got black wires and white wires. Now they're going to walk you through all of this. Now I'm using power tools. I recommend you don't. I'm doing this for expedience, so I can beat that record. But normally you can use just regular hand tools. It's a lot safer. So I'm going to go ahead and because who needs an impact driver right here on this? I'm taking this old bracket off. Now this old bracket's the one that holds my old light. I don't need this anymore, but do keep the 2 screws that came out of there because they're going to go back in. Now hopefully you guys can see that okay. So there we go. So that's what a normal outlet might look like. Now I'm going to be careful and I'm going to twist these lefty-loosey. Lefty-loosey on this one. Now my ground wasn't hooked up on this. Shame on me, but I'm going to go ahead and put that over there. Hopefully yours was. And there's your basic setup. So you're going to have a standard box. Now these might be sideways. These 2 screw holes in your standard box might be different colors. You know, it won't matter at all. First thing you're going to get out of the kit is this. Now they've gone through the effort of making this thing super duper easy to install. And we're going to go here. And I'm going to start it by putting the one in the lower corner in first. Okay, and then I'm going to put the one in the upper corner. Now, a lot of times you'd have to, with other ones, use those other wing nuts and other things that they had and thread them, do whatnot. This makes it dead super simple to install. So that one's installed, top and bottom. Now, I'm going to take my ground here. That's the one that's bare copper or green. And I'm just going to install the ground right on this little screw here. Now, again, Wyze is going to walk you through all this. So I'm just wrapped it around the screw. And I'm installing the ground in the same direction that it goes. Now, another cool feature that they include with this is this little almost double-ended shepherd hook there, right? It's kind of cool. It's to hook along here and to take the weight off as you're doing your wiring. Now you can hook this to whichever side. I like to do it to the side that's closest to the wiring. So what's neat about this is this insulated wire cover here. I can now do my wiring and I don't have to be carrying. If I'm up on a ladder where most of these things are going to be installed, I don't have to carry all that weight. There's the wire nut. I was like, I know I put a wire nut somewhere. They've actually simplified this so much that the ground is now transferred through this bracket, so you don't even have to hook the ground up. It's going to come through on the next step. Now, one thing I always recommend, just make sure you're real tight on these connectors at the top. You don't want one proud of the other, meaning further forward or back from it. You want them perfectly lined up, and don't twist it to where all the wires jumble up. That's a bad thing. Just twist it to where it's nice and snug, and you can give it a little pull to make sure it's snug. Now we're going to do the other one. And again, I'm just showing you how to do it here to install the steps. In my jurisdiction, it's legal. In your jurisdiction, just make sure you don't need a licensed electrician to do this. In most cases in the US, you don't. You can replace like for like. So if you had a floodlight or an outdoor light, you can replace it with something like this. That was super easy, right? And they continue to make this easier. So there's only one more step to installing this. Literally unhook this. Now you can do some things like pushing your wires back through gently. Now if you line this up, we're almost done. You see how that is? So if I take this piece, now this is a design feature on this one only. So if I run that through, you see that little single screw that comes in here? You don't have to worry about alignment and putting it on and off, which some of the other vendors' products do. You just have to line the screw and put it towards the middle. Now, as I twist down, what's happening is I can rotate this around until I got it the way I want. I can even install it at a cant or an angle, and these things are so adjustable. You can, if you need to put your lights in a different direction, you can definitely twist it just a little bit, or you can take, you know, if your box isn't lined up right, you can take a little bit of that out. So now I've got my 2 lights, and this will come all upside down. It's really weird, but you can get it all set up just like that. As Pinky says, just drill until you hear the screws strip out. No, but that one might have. Good eyes. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and plug this in now because I've actually done all the work. That's all that was involved, believe it or not, in installing this light. If everything worked out, I'm going to plug this in and it's going to get really bright. Ta-da! That's 2600 lumens blinding my little camera right now. It's going, ah! My little GoPro's never going to be the same again. Now, it's detecting motion, and so it's coming back on and off. The camera's initializing, doing its thing. It'll actually go off here in just a second. Hey, Shopping Dragons, thanks for just follow on Amazon. Thanks for all of you guys that are watching on Amazon. You know, I really didn't think about just putting the regular Wyze Cam floodlight in here. Maybe that was a mistake. But we're taking a look here at the Wyze Cam floodlight. 2600 lumens security floodlight with a camera on it, a V3 camera, motion detection down here. So it's got the passive motion detection as well as motion detection from the regular camera. Now, I just happen to have this set up still in my Wyze app, so I'm going to bring that up here. I'm going to find where I have that. Connecting to camera. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and plus device. Let's go ahead and do this together. I'm going to go ahead and do the app setup here. And it's under cameras. It's kind of funny. They have a Wyze Cam floodlight. And like we were talking about here, you can do wall mounted or ceiling mounted. I'm going to say mine's ceiling mounted. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say wall mounted. Sorry. I'm replacing an existing floodlight. Next, it's going to go through all of those steps, as you can see here, about how you might do this. Wi-Fi signal, start, Wyze Cam floodlight, done. Those are all the steps. Like I said, very, very easy. And animated video here on how to do it. Just the same things I just showed you now. Man, an electrician would have a field day with that extra ground that they had there. Okay, so it's connecting all the wires. And then we're going to go ahead and set it up. And then you can cover that little tiny hole with a cover here as well. Now, on the base of the camera, we're going to go ahead and hold the reset down.
Ready to connect.
Wow, that's loud. Could hear that from the ground here. I'm going to go ahead and get it connected, and then I'm going to show it a QR code.
QR code scanned. Please wait.
There we go. So now I've added that. It's going to go ahead and add this as a new camera. I'm going to turn this a little bit so it's pointing at me. Of course, that will
setup completed.
It'll probably blind me now. So that it's asking for a name, we can say Studio Flood. Now, this is going to be available on all your smart devices that way. I'm going to share it maybe later. We're connecting to the camera, and hey, there I'm at. Now, I'm not going to firmware update it, but you can see all of the standard quality of a V3 camera. And you now have the ability to turn the lights on and off, which is going to blind me. But yeah, there you go. So you can do automatic motion detection. You can do all that stuff. You have two-way audio. You have a siren capability. Sorry about that, everybody that's like listening on headphones. That would be really bad. So very, very cool. And as Pinky says, blinded by the light. Yes, that's what we are. So that is the Wyze Cam floodlight. The thing is, I want to go put this thing up. I'm so excited to get it installed, except I keep showing it on the show. So I've got this one as a demo unit. I might just pick up another one for this price because it is a great unit. Outdoor rated, IP65 weather compliant. So that's really cool to know as well. So IP65 rating is a 6 for dust intrusion. So that's really good. And 5 for weather. So it can get weather and splashed and whatnot. Not submersible, but it's going to be okay in rain like the Pacific Northwest. Wyze is from the Northwest. They're nearby me, so they're used to rain as well. So that was one of the products I wanted to show you today. Let's get going on the rest of them from Wyze, because I got some really cool ones. You know, the floodlight is one of my favorites that they've come out with this year, along with the switches, but they've actually got a lot more, and there is some right now that are on sale as well. So if you want to get a good deal on Wyze stuff, they rarely go on sale, but when they do, you know, pick up what you can for sure. Let's go back over here. I'm going to show you the Wyze plug next. So this was one that they had started out with shortly after the first V2 camera. This was one of their first entries into the smart plug market. You can see the pricing there, 27% lower than the lowest price that Edge has seen it at. So $8.30 for a single plug indoor pack. If you want a 2-pack, it looks like it's going to be slightly more. That's the thing. These prices are so low on these single units that you're actually cheaper than if you were to buy 2 of them. So I'm going to pull mine out over here and show you guys them. If you do have issues, let me know if there's any sort of audio or other issues. I'm going to pull the top-down rig so you guys can see this. This is the box. It's a 2-pack of plugs, but guess what? I'm already using one of the plugs to run my studio. So I actually have one of these that turns on and off most of the devices in my studio. So when I leave at night, I tell it to turn it off, and it does that. That's how small this thing is. So I just want to show you real quick. Very small. It's got a side button. If you were to look at this side by side with the Amazon smart plug, almost identical. They do say up to 15 amps max. I do have to warn you though, even though it says it's rated for 15 amps, I would not use this with resistive loads like motors, heaters, other things like that. Inductive load, technically, for a heater, but you know what I mean. Just because any issues I've ever seen with them have been people plugging in poor old heaters with bad plugs, bad grounds, bad whatever, and I don't want you to be in that situation. So this is good for lighting. It's good for Christmas lights. It's good for a coffee maker, toaster, things like that that are 1,000 watts or under. I would be very comfortable, and just make sure the plugs are in good condition. Really easy to set up. Again, there's two types of these. There's actually one that's Bluetooth and one that's just straight Wi-Fi. I'm going to come over here. We're going to install it again, and I'm going to show you how hard it is to install. You ready? We're going to install a smart plug, and action. Okay, there we go. It's blinking blue in the corner. I don't know if you can see that. But I'm going to go ahead and take my Wyze app. Now remember, this is one I just took out of the box. So I'm going to pull the app up for you guys. We're going to go to Plus. We're going to go to Devices, Power and Lighting, Wyze Plug. Now it's going to go ahead and let us know when we do that. Set up your plug. I got my plug before, 2020. Press and hold the pairing button. Well, it's already blinking, so we'll see. There we go. And then I heard a click. Gonna set it up to there. Now I gotta connect to my Wi-Fi on the plug. So there was a Bluetooth way to set this up, and there's a Wi-Fi way. So if I hit the Wi-Fi now, what it's gonna do is it's gonna connect to my smart plug, and it's going to transfer my wireless details from my house. Now the newer one's actually even easier. I just happen to have new old stock in here to show you guys today, but both of them are super easy to set up. Now it's connecting to Wi-Fi, and once you do that, you won't need your phone ever again. You can control it through the phone. So what I'm going to say, this is the studio demo. Okay, sounds good. Finish. Share device maybe later. So you can give it to friends if you want. There's a firmware upgrade available. I'm not going to do that. Now it does have runtime totals on this one. It does have a vacation mode, which is going to vary. And you can also include this in all of your schedules. So remember we talked about the Wyze Smart Switch. You could say when I double tap the switch, turn on and off the plug and control a lamp in the other side of the room or in a different room, doing things like that. So that's all part of the Wyze ecosystem. I'm just tapping it on and off here, and I can hear it clicking away, so it's changing down there. You won't be able to see it. I'm trying to think. It wasn't very smart. I didn't set up a camera that I could show you when it's changing. But that is how easy it was to use one of these. $8.30. I don't think you're going to find anything cheaper. Again, I can't guarantee that, but $8.30 is one of the best deals that I've ever seen on these smart plugs, unless you're buying monstrous packs of them. So that's another great deal I want to tell you about. Next product up, and I'm going to pull that up in the carousel right now. And oh, that was awesome. So yeah, if you're just joining now on Amazon, give me a hi down there. Give me a shout out on Amazon. Tell me where you're from. I'd like to let you guys know that are watching that I can actually hear you. We're live. I'm going to go to the next product here, which is, if this Wyze plug was for indoor use and your Christmas lights, that's a great use case for it. Christmas is coming up. If you want to do the outside lights, this is the next product. So I'm just pulling this up right now. Another fantastic deal today. And this is the Wyze Plug Outdoor. So this one, and I'm just going to pull it off of here. So that's the indoor version. And then this is the outdoor. The outdoor has dual plugs. And what's cool about that is they're gasketed plugs, which means they're waterproof. So another cool thing about that, again, you have those little removable tabs here, so I can pull this off. You don't have to use both. You can do one at a time, and you can actually pull this and get it out of the way completely if you need to. It's designed to plug in, so I'm going to show you how it plugs in over here. It's designed to plug in and hang down. So see how the lights are there, and it's just getting connected, doing whatever. I use this with my RV, and I can know how much energy my RV is using while it's just plugged in and dormant. I don't use a lot of charging or other stuff. So this has one of the highest ratings, so still 15 amp. Let me see if they've updated the labels on this one. So this one will control a motor. So you're looking at half horsepower maximum motor, 15 amps capacity. I've never heard of one of these breaking. I have seen the little ones, people overload them with motors and stuff, big heaters. This one I would feel a lot more comfortable with the motor because it's got rated for that. So up to a half horsepower. So this one is controllable directly. You can turn it on or off, but I'm actually going to show you in my app how I control that in the Wyze app. So I have an outdoor plug that I can turn on and off. Let me go here real quick. We were just using this the other day, so hopefully I can show you. So in my app, I have individual control of both sides of the outdoor plug. IP64 rated. So 4 versus a 5 is more like a light splashing. They don't want you to submerge this. You don't want to put those plugs down inside of water, but it's designed to hang down like this so that the water sheets off of it. So it's going to be good for light splashing. But if I go in here, oh, it's going to firmware update required. Okay, well, let's see if it'll let me go back in. No, it's going to have me do it. What I was going to do was show you the energy usage, because that's the other really big thing. If you want the outdoor plug capability, $12.50. I can't believe that. That is the lowest I've ever seen that device at. But $12.50, you get 2 controllable outlets on the same plug, and you get energy monitoring. It's going to roll up by day, week, month. It's got all that cool capability. Then you've got the IP64 rating, which is cooler on top of that. So, oh, look at that. That's a great use case. I'm just pulling up Banana. It says, I use Wyze plugs to ensure heated blankets turn off after an hour, so fam doesn't leave it on and forget. Oh my goodness, that's a great idea. Wyze plugs are great for controlling humidifiers, heaters, animal habitats paired with a Wyze climate sensor. I got Wyze climate sensors hiding up here. They've been here the whole time, but yeah, that's absolutely true. That's a great use case. Excellent idea. Wax melts. Oh, you know, my wife has a few of these. Our good comes back. Great idea. We use them for wax melts to schedule for turn on aroma. Hey, I like that. So yeah, my wife leaves hers on all the time. I don't like that, but yeah, that would be really cool to be able to turn those on and off. Again, those are low voltage. That's great. Not low voltage. Those are high voltage, but low output. So that's really cool. Those would work well. Bonbon says hello. Hey, Bonbon. Thank you so much. We're just checking out the Wyze gear here. If you don't know who I am, it's your first time here. This is John, the Net Guy. I do home tech and tool reviews here on Amazon, on my Amazon shop, which is at the URL over there. Right now, we're updating the firmware on the Wyze Outdoor Socket. I have to say, Wyze is one of those companies that is constantly updating their software and devices, making them better and better each time. They got some really cool other products coming out. So, showing you how that thing works, we're going to let the thing update. I'm going to move on to our next Wyze product, which is actually their lock. And this is one of my favorites. So I'm just pulling it up on the carousel for you guys. The Wyze lock, I always tell people, you know, look at reviewers and look at what they use on their home. I get sent smart locks all the time. I've got a stack of them. I got one that just showed up yesterday. And it's kind of cool. It's biometric fingerprint. I'll show you all about it like a couple weeks from now. But door locks are very important, critical to your home security, but you want the flexibility of having smart controls. I can tell you, I almost have not had a key for our house in 5-6 years. And it's really because of the advent of smart locks like the Wyze lock. So very cool capability here. I'm going to pull up the screen for my lock. I think it's called Fronty McFront Door. Don't ask me why. But I'm going to go ahead and pull that up here on the app, and I'm going to show you, you know, the history of coming in and out of my house. So what's cool about this is we left on a trip, and we were going to be gone for a week, week and a half, and we got a mile down the road, and we did not know if the front door was locked or unlocked. It was so silly. I was like, oh, let's just pull the app up. So we pulled the app up, and you can just do a simple tap, and you've got this thing locking on its own. Now, you can't unlock it with the Smart Assistant without a secret code, which I'm not going to do on air, but I just did a remote lock of the front door here, and so it'll change state here in just a second. And then I can, do a remote unlock with it. So now it's locked. It's telling me that the door is secure. I can hit it again, and it's actually unlocking upstairs. Now, you can include this in part of routines. I've actually used this in many routines in our house. One of them is when I say goodnight. I've set it up with that Echo Smart Assistant that when I say goodnight, it's going to turn down the thermostat. It's going to turn off all of the lights, and it's going to lock the front door. Now, if the front door lock for whatever reason jams, and you might see, my kids don't close the door all the way and it jams, this thing will send you a critical phone alert and it'll let you know that it was not able to lock. So huge security implications here. Now, some people get confused because there's two types of Wyze locks. There's the Wyze lock and there's the Wyze lock bolt, which has a very different use case. But we're going to take a look here at the Wyze lock real quick. I'm going to bring up their page. And the only reason I'm going to bring this up here is I want to show you their install video, because that's the thing that makes this so unique. Everybody's like, oh, well, does it have a backup key? Does it have this and that? This item is so unique, it actually leaves your existing lock cylinder. They've come up with an ingenious way of replacing the handle side of your lock, the inside. So in our case, we had a really pretty handle that we had on the outside of our house, and we wanted to keep that. We want to preserve that brushed bronze, whatever my wife picked out. And so this allows us to have a smart lock, but have it look unlike any other lock that's out there. So this is the Wyze lock advertisement. I'm just going to see if they show you the installation steps. There's a picture of it. You know what? I'm going to have to jump over real quick to... I'm going to do Wyze lock install. And we're going to go to the one actually made. So there's the Wyze lock bolt, and skip that one. Go to the Wyze lock if you're looking these up, because I wanted to show you this. Ignore the ad here. We'll skip that past that. I don't watch YouTube ads anymore, but I want to show you how quick this installs. So you install this little communication shim. This little device goes in the wall somewhere near your lock. And this is the whole way that they keep the power requirements down. I change the battery in our Wyze lock about once every 6 months. I change the 4 batteries. But super duper easy here. He's just putting a piece of tape on the outside. I'll make this a little bit bigger and get rid of some stuff for us. So you take off the back side of the lock. So you're taking off the inside of the lock here. That's how easy it is. Take off both sides. Now, they have great instructions, just like I showed you on the Floodlight. And they have a sliding kit here. So depending on the offset, if your screws are too close together, too far apart, it will adjust to whatever you need. So you set this in here and you tighten this down. What that's going to do is it's going to preserve the outside of your lock. And now your lock is going to work. So that's the neat part about this, is you don't lose that lock handle on the outside. But what they do now is connect the inside portion of the lock. That's the larger smart bits. And they go in here. So you go ahead and adjust and figure out what turner you need. And then you put your batteries in. You just line it up here until it latches, and you tighten it down, and you're good to go. It does do some calibration. So this will also sense, it has an angle sensor. It'll sense if your door's not closed completely. That's another really important thing about the Wyze lock. So again, Wyze lock bolt has a fingerprint scanner and a code entry, no key backup, which is fine. Only works when you're home. Wyze lock works when your phone is or isn't there, and it's controllable over the Wyze gateway through the lock-in technology gateway, the little plug. And then you can unlock and lock your door from anywhere. Wyze lock bolt, that's the other one, the black colored one, is not able to do that. So 4 Duracell batteries, and they include all the batteries with these things. That's one thing I love about the Wyze company. If you're having trouble putting this outer cover on, make sure your battery tabs are down. A lot of people were posting about that the other day. Well, I shouldn't say a lot. So somebody was posting about that, and a lot of people were telling them to make sure those tabs are down, because otherwise it won't let the cover go on. Cover goes on, and you're good to go. Now you can use the app. You can use other features. Like, I have mine set up to Alexa with a special code that I have to give her. So I can unlock hands-free the door from the inside if I need to, and or anywhere in the house that I have an Alexa device if I know somebody's coming. So I can do that. That's pretty cool. There's a couple different combinations. Like I said, they have this Wyze lock, and they have it with a video doorbell, and they have this one with something else. It looked like a Pan Cam V2. Those are out of stock already, so I don't even want to waste your time with those combinations. Those would be great combinations if the pricing comes through, but it looks like this one is available for $90.99. It's 30% off. there is one mandatory accessory that I would tell you about that you have to get. Let me go back over here to my Amazon shop. So again, back to my Amazon shop. We'll come down here. We're going to go to the Wyze lock. And I'm going to tell you the one accessory you got to get with this, especially if you have kids. And that is going to be the Wyze keypad. So there's the Wyze lock and wireless keypad here. Now, you might be able to buy the keypad separately because the price is so much better on the lock portion right now. The keypad separately might be a better deal. You can see 69% off. It looks like it's got a very interesting drop. That's wrong in that case. But what you can do here with this keypad, this wireless keypad, you just set outside next to your door. Doesn't have to drill any holes, doesn't do anything. It's all battery powered. And the beauty of this one is it controls your lock with a code. So if you're used to having a coded door, and we do this all the time, our neighbors know our code to drop packages off if they need to. Guests and housekeepers, house cleaners can know the code and type it in there. It also gives you a super convenient lock and unlock button down at the bottom here. So when we're leaving, our kids know that they close the door and then they can hit that lock button and it's going to lock the door from the inside, which is really slick. So that is everything I know about the Wyze lock. I'm going to check the chat here to see if anybody's got questions. Again, I do appreciate you guys sticking with me tonight. This is our second show of 2 shows that we've already done. We did one earlier. I got to tell you, there's a lot of really good deals to be had on Amazon products. This is the Fire 8 tablet. I just picked this up for my kids, to be honest. I wanted them to have something that they can play on, and this really cool connector. So if you haven't seen that, visit my Amazon shop, and you can actually watch the show from 2 hours ago, and you can see all of the great deals, because I don't want you guys to miss out. There's a couple things that I'm actually going to be picking up here after I get off. So a couple deals that I wanted to check. I'm going to check the chat real quick, make sure I didn't miss anything. TP-Link Casa is another brand for sure. I really do like those. Requires internet. Don't power cycle your modem. Okay, yeah, the lock does do that. I don't think... That's it. We've got some spammers in there. But yeah, I don't think that the lock keypad requires internet. I'll have to see. I think that's still local to it, but I could be wrong in there. So very cool. I appreciate, again, all of you guys for checking in here. Let me go make sure that I haven't missed any of the cool Wyze products. So we talked about the outdoor plug. We talked about the color bulb first. We talked about the plug. $8.30. It's in the carousel. Don't miss out on this one. If you're going to buy something or buy a gift, talk about a stocking stuffer, right? You can get the 1 pack for $8.30, and I keep calling these the entry drug to a smart home. So if you want to get somebody started out in smart home technology, get them started in Wyze. They can't go wrong. I love the Wyze ecosystem. I love everything about the company. And $8.30 gets them through the door. They can start with that and start with the app. The floodlight camera, I got to go talk to the wife because I think we're going to buy another one of those. You can't beat that. I believe the pricing on it right now was $90 with 3 months of Cam Plus. I have the Cam Plus Uber Super Unlimited. I've got like 100 camera subscriptions, so I can use as many as I want. It's about $100 a year, but I do that because it's worth it. It cuts down on false negatives, and I can actually filter things by package detection. Will that plug work with a surge protector? I'm assuming you wanted anything to power on and off at the same time. Yeah, you could actually put that ahead of a surge protector. That's a great question from Pinky Tech, another YouTuber, by the way. Great channel. He's asking if we can use it with a surge protector. Just put it ahead of the surge protector, and you can absolutely turn everything off. I don't know if I should show the hazards that are my wiring around this place, but I actually have that on my UPS, my backup power. It goes into a switch, which then goes up here and powers like 5 things, including my overhead camera. So that's how my plug is used with a surge protector. So good question there for sure. And looking through the Wyze lock, which we just finished talking about. Again, buy it if you can with that smart keypad. That's a great feature to have if you have your phone in your pocket or something. I didn't mention this, but there's another feature of that Wyze lock. It has automatic opening and closing when it detects your phone. So just for safety, I don't do that. If somebody was following you up to your door, you don't want your door to automatically open for both of you. You may decide to just peel off and not open your door. But it does have that convenient capability that if you want it to lock as you leave and unlock as you arrive, it can do that, and you can set it up for that. Banana says, I love the programmable access codes and term schedules. One-time use, first Tuesday of the month. Wow. Next 40. I didn't even get to that level. That's so cool that you can set up the programming on the access codes to that level. I'd show you the access codes. It doesn't actually reveal them. You can add as many access codes as you want here. But again, you can use this as part of your additional smart home routines, and I've done that over and over again. So very cool features. That is the whole roundup. I do have a couple last things I want to show you guys real quick. I'm just going to pull them up here. Want to remind you guys, we are actually doing a giveaway for a GoTrax scooter. Yeah, of all things. Let me pull them up in the carousel real quick. It was supposed to be the drawing today, but I am 2 weeks behind on shows, believe it or not, and I wanted to give more people access to these. But I literally have GoTrax scooters here, and you have the opportunity to win one. So you can still enter to win the GoTrax scooter if you want. That's going to be here in about 2 to 3 weeks. I have to work out with my co-host on that show. We're going to have Danny from Nerd on a Budget. He's going to come over here. We're going to do a PC build, and we're going to give away a $400 scooter. But those scooters right now are on sale. Let me go pull them up real quick. I think that I put them in the other show. Let me pull them up real quick. And just so you can see, these are commuter scooters. These are not your kids' like Razor scooters. But the GXL V2 that we're giving away, I'm going to pull that up real quick for you, is actually on a prime early access deal. The XR is on sale. The G4, which is their big daddy, is also on sale. $551 for this scooter right here. That's one of my favorites. It has the capability to go 25 miles at 20 miles an hour, or up to on both of those. But if you want something that's more of an entry level, this is the one that we're giving away. That's coming up in a few weeks, like I mentioned. We'll be updating the deadline on that. Right now, $319 is one of the best deals I've seen on this as well. So stay tuned for that. Don't want you guys to miss that. I did want to mention that before we ended here. I'll take one last quick look at the chat, and I'll let you guys wrap up. But I thank you so much for tuning in. This has been John, the Net Guy. It is Prime Early Access Sale Days. Hopefully you guys are getting some of the cool stuff that you wanted and get your holiday shopping in. If you do use any of the links in here, affiliate or not, I do get a commission. I really do appreciate that. Thank you guys again. And I will catch you guys next Tuesday for Tech on Tuesday. We're going to have some really, really cool stuff. I've got some products here that I really want you to see. I don't want to give away any surprises, but I did show one of them last hour, and it was really, really slick. So going to be doing that. And with that, I will call it done. Thanks, everybody.